Welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield Preview Pod. First home match of the season coming up at the expense of QPR. I am joined by Ben from the W12 Podcast. Ben, how are you this early afternoon, UK early morning, late morning US time?
Very well, thank you. Yep, it's quite a hot day in England today, so just taking a break from the sun
Yeah,
to chat to
I
you
hear
guys.
you.
But yeah, all good, all good.
Good deal. Well, I guess we'll get right into it. 3-1 defeat yesterday to West Brom at home at Loftus Road or whatever it's called now. Sum it up. What happened?
Um, what did happen? We weren't very good. Look, we're starting the season with probably a worse team than we ended last season with. Unfortunately, we've lost a couple of players. We haven't from an attacking perspective. We started with a 19-year-old on one wing and Paul Smith on the right, who isn't, is probably not someone who you want to be relying on week in, week out. Our best player, Ilias Chair's out injured, which is frustrating. We've got some new signings who are not ready to play or start at the moment, so we're very much. I think that our team will look a lot different come this 1st of September, sort of end of August. We gave it a go. We started really well. But West Brom, they were a good side. Carlos Corberan's got them well run. They've got some seasoned Championship players, and we just weren't great in the second half. We were particularly poor and made some mistakes. And the lad Major scored a hat trick. A really easy hat trick actually, which is frustrating.
Yeah. As you do mention, you almost piggyback off my next comment. So you say that that QPR will make changes before the end of the transfer window. In your eyes, what do they need to bring in to improve that side and be competitive in this league?
Yeah, well, we need some attacking options. We're really light. We're just really light out wide in the middle, number 10 role. Like I said, Ilias Chair's a massive Championship player for us, and he's been our best player for 2 or 3 years now. And not having him stifles all of our creativity that we have, which isn't a lot even when he's in the side. So we're desperate for wins. We've lost Chris Willock to Cardiff. Sinclair Armstrong went to Bristol City, and 2 of our quickest players. So nothing really feels right up there. But we are actively trying to bring players in. It's just not working at the moment. So I think that we will. There's rumours that we've got a couple in through the door in the next couple of days. So that will be really handy and useful. But yeah, I mean, and centre midfield as well. We've just brought in Jonathan Varane, who is Varane's brother from Sporting Gijón. He only played 20 minutes yesterday, but he looks really good. So hopefully he'll be starting soon. And like I said earlier on, like I think our team will look completely not completely, but it will certainly offensively look different come the end of August.
Yeah. I'm hoping Sheffield United look a lot different too.
What about you? Not buying? You're buying everyone. I'm seeing. You bought,
well, yeah.
Campbell
After you release 18 players, and we've only brought in 8, so we're still a deficit of about 10 players. So that's why it looks like, oh, Sheffield United, they're splashing cash. We ain't paying these guys jack. I mean, most of them are frees. I mean, frees on 3-4 year deals they're going to be on like $50 a week. I mean, it's not like we're dumping boatloads of money into them.
Are you signing the lad from Crystal Palace? Is it Yak Sayel? So because we were about to sign him, and then you've come in and got him, but I haven't seen anything for a week or so.
Yeah, it's rumored that we are, and it should be, but there was a whole host of teams. I think it was QPR, Sheffield United, Norwich maybe was in there. Leeds, yeah. I mean, so I don't believe any transfer is complete until they have the guy at the table with the pen in a hand, smiling or pissed off that he's signing for us.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, I won't. There's so many players. I mean, it's all crazy because at one point, during the summer, we're linked to half a dozen players, and we ain't signed half of them or a quarter of them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, somebody's just basically like, yeah, that sounds good. We'll just link them to this player. Oh, we'll link them to this player. We'll link them to this player. It's all bull crap. It's just it's in the slow time of the season.
A lot of journalism, isn't it, and ITKs and stuff like that. Like, it seems to be the in thing at the moment. Like, just making buying as many players and being linked to as many players as possible sort of creates the clicks and stuff like that, doesn't it? But yeah, we're the same. We've been linked to nearly every player under the sun, but I haven't signed any of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. As for QPR, I know we've only played one match, but full-time whistle on the last day of the season in early May. Where do you think QPR finish?
It's a difficult question to answer now, only because I don't know what we're going to look like come the end of August, as I've mentioned. I think that we've got Marty Cifuentes in charge, and he's a really good manager. He did to save us last season in the position we were in November, I think it was. Gareth Ainsworth left us in the gutter, really, and we were destined for League One, but he picked us up, and we were, since he took over, I think we would have finished 8th or 9th. We had one of the best defences in the league, so I'm confident that we've got the right manager in. It's just making sure we've got the right players. So look, I'll probably say mid-table, probably maybe a few places, maybe top half. It's difficult, mate, but I certainly don't think we'll be in relegation, and I don't think we'll be pushing for playoffs. So then you could just sort of finish anywhere, can't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's almost a backloaded question. I mean, we're just off the back of the start of the season yesterday at the time of recording, and it's like, yeah, to ask you where you're going to finish in 45 games in 9 months it's pretty tough to call. As far as Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Thank God. I love 3 p.m. kickoffs are finally back until we start getting moved around because they want to put every every game on TV now. So that is going to be a thing of the past, the 3 p.m. kickoffs. As for Saturday's game, how do you see it going?
Well, it's going to be tough for us, isn't it? Really, you look, from a championship perspective, you're looking like quite a good side. I'm sure you'll be up there. So it's going to be tough. I don't know what our team's going to be either. I really don't. We've got a game midweek as well, so that always sort of, you don't know who's going to play there. So I think that we'll bring a couple of players in, which we need. But again, they need time to. We're not bringing any championship well-known players in. I don't think they're going to be foreign, so those type of players always take a little bit of time to bed in, and so I'll take a draw, but it's going to be tough.
I think I think it's similar vein. I think it ends in a draw. I think it ends 1-1. We played Preston Friday night, and Preston are a bad side. They are a side that looks in a bit of disarray, a team in flux, I guess. So that 2-0, I guess it easily could have been way more if Kiefer Moore finishes his chances in front of goal. And I don't know how much of you watched Friday night, but it's one of those games. Everybody's, on the, we're going to piss the league train, greatest side in championship history. My God, we're not going to get beat. We're not going to lose a game. And I'm just like, pump the brakes. It's 1 of 46. So I think this game ends 1-1. I think you guys are a better side than you truly believe. I mean, we don't know because you can't read into. I don't know how much you are like I am. I don't read anything into preseason. I didn't watch a second of us playing preseason because you know what? That team that played in preseason isn't going to be this team that started the first game against Preston, and it's probably going to be a bit changed on Saturday against QPR, especially if we get some players through the door. So it's just tough to draw off of what it's going to be so early in the season. And I think really the benchmark for every team in the championship is September 1st. And I know that's like a cliche, but in a sense, that's when all the business is done. you really know what you have for your team for the rest of the season, or at least until January, and then maybe 4 games after the window closes, maybe you know what you got. So, I mean, I know a lot of people in talking heads say, "Oh, the first 10 games, yeah, you don't really draw off of that." But I don't know, it's interesting. I think this is a game where United will be favored, but QPR will knock something in and it'll end up 1-1.
Well, I mean, being a QPR fan, one thing we do a lot of is we always tend to do well against the better teams and the
Mhm.
better sides. I don't know why. It's something that's always happened. Um, but like you said, yeah, pre-season's tough, isn't it? Because I went to a pre-season game and it was awful. We was at Reading and we ended up just sitting in the concourse for most of it because it was just putting, you know what I mean? It's a snail's pace, isn't it?
Mhm.
So so yeah, I completely agree, and you never really know what, like you said, what side you're going to have because you could lose. There's a few players that we have that could just go any minute, really. Well, there's links for them to go out, and it just takes one bid, and you've lost your best defender or your best midfielder, and it will, Blackburn fans will probably tell you with Sammy Simonics, they'll probably, they'll be okay, but he could go when or if he goes, they look a completely different side, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. But like our game on Saturday was again felt at times like a friendly because teams are still getting up to speed, aren't they? So there's
Mhm.
players that still aren't fully fit, and so you've always got those. So that's why things happen at the start of the season, weird results and stuff like that. So anything could happen, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
exactly.
I'm not overly optimistic.
I mean, but like, as you say, weird results happen. I mean, to say this isn't, if a 1-1 draw or a QPR win, I mean, that in my eyes wouldn't be a weird score line. It's just something that this is the best division in the world, in my opinion. And any given Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we're going to be playing all days of the week this year.
Yeah,
Um, Anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody. First can beat last. Last can beat first. I mean, 12th could beat first. You never know what you're going to get, and that's why I love this division. It's so, in my opinion, while for the time being it's even, but it's only going to get further apart with the teams coming down from the Prem with their money, and then the teams that have been in the championship for 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 years, don't get that influx of cash. That almost divide is going to happen over. You can almost see it's kind of starting to separate like oil and water.
yeah, absolutely. The clubs that come down from from the Premier League as well. I looked at Leeds' team. I look at Burnley, and it's difficult to compete with some of the quality that some of these teams have. And yeah, you're right. You can catch them on bad days, but a 46 game season normally sort of, unless that club's having a really bad season or whatever, something's happening. But yeah, I think that Luton, Burnley, you guys, Leeds will probably be the top sort of four, top six at
Yeah.
least. I think come the end of the season. Yeah.
Final question before we get out of here, and I ask every single opponent that I have on the Red Half of Sheffield preview pod. Since I haven't had Ben on before, I'll go with the original question that I've asked everybody. Your pre-match go-to beverage. Doesn't have to be
Uh,
alcohol. It can be whatever.
so mine's a Guinness.
Yeah,
Um,
my man.
yeah, yeah. So
My
start with a couple of Guinnesses and then go. Well, you start with a couple of Guinnesses and then you sort of into the ground, and then it's the warm Carlsberg for me, and that's what we sell. And it's warm and it's hot and it's horrible. It's in like one of those plastic
man.
bloody glasses, and it's terrible. You're like nursing it down, kickoff coming. So that tends to be. And then after the game, a nice like I don't know. Yeah, it depends what the weather's like.
Say it's
Moretti.
cold and
I'm into
rainy and windy.
Moretti. I'm into
Right.
Moretti at the moment. Don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Ben, before we get out of here, drop where the people can listen to the W12 podcast.
Yeah. Well, yes. All social. Yeah. All socials. All sort of platforms for we've got a lot of for any QPR fans that are interested. We've got lots of players and we had Cifuentes on last year. We've had Harry Redknapp, Neil Warnock. So they're all there to listen to. So W12 at W12 Podcast, so quite easy to remember.
Cool deal. If you haven't done so, and I don't know why, Red Half of Sheffield, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and this brilliant video will be on YouTube at Red Half of Sheffield. So until we preview Norwich next in the championship and match day 3, I will leave you with Up the Blades.